Hi everyone and welcome back to another one of my videos. Thank you so much for wanting to come back and watch another one. So a couple days back I had a request from someone special to do my full face of makeup. I apologize because I don't look as awake. It's a very gloomy day and some people love those days, and then there's me that I don't like those days because if I don't see the sun outside, my body is basically telling me you should be in bed cuddled up with your blankets in the very cold AC. So I'm not as awake, so I do apologize for that. And as you can see, I have a few blemishes here because, you know, we're in quarantine, so that kind of means we're not well, at least I'm not making the best dietary choices right now because I'm home all day. So moving along, we're going to be doing the full face of makeup, and I want to show you my routine and what I use. So the first thing you want to start with is obviously priming your skin. I had so much trouble with this step because I didn't know what type of skin I had. I know it was very oily, and then I started trying out this new primer that it's more of a really hydrating primer, which is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's like the hydrating one. That's gonna make my skin even more oily. So it turns out, I found out that the reason why my face was so oily is because I'm not the best at hydrating it. So if you have oily skin, this is only for like a certain type of skin. Like, I'm not saying if you have oily skin that means that you're not like hydrating it well. This is my instance because I'm not the best of staying hydrated, like drinking lots of water, lots of just liquids in general. So once I started using this, I found that my face was reacting so well to it. So I started looking up like, why is this working for me when it's like a hydrating primer and like it's not making my skin even more oily than it already is. So some people, if you have oily faces, because obviously like I said, you're not hydrating enough and you're not taking care of your body as well as you should. So I found that because this is hyaluronic acid, that's like one of the best hydrating things that the skin can have, besides like collagen and like obviously more steps to your health. And like as soon as the first time I ever used this primer, my skin was like, whoa, it was like a whole different skin. And I was like, wow, like I would have never thought that was my issue. I was thought like, oh my gosh, I have oily skin, and like that affected my skincare as well because I would always buy products of like for oily skin, and like it would just make everything worse. So I started buying like more hydrating things instead of like more matte and like stuff like that. And like there was a complete shift in my skin. So I recommend that you like kind of like test your skincare and see, and like you kind of have to research what type of skin you really are based on how you feel, how you see, what signs do you see on your skin and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start priming. I always start with my eyes first, but I put my base first, just so like as I'm doing my eyes, this can be soaked in. Oh, and it smells so good. It kind of smells like a baby, and it's like it just smells so good. Oh, and this feels so refreshing. It's like, I don't know, I can't even explain it. And I actually got that on sale. It came as a set, so it's like it comes with this hydrating primer, the setting spray, the hyaluronic acid setting spray, and I love that as well too. I never used setting sprays before, and then I started using it, and I feel like, obviously because like my skin is so dry, that it helped me so much. And then that's what I'm going to be using at the end to set my makeup. And if you ever have like anything hydrating left, bring it down to your neck because that does make a difference as you age. And I'm starting to age, sadly. as I say, I start with my eyes, and I also put that type of primer on my eyes just to keep them hydrated as well. And oh my god, it just feels so good. It smells so good. And I think I showed this on the last makeup video that whenever I do my eyes, I obviously use concealer to put it to set, and then I use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser, the multi-use concealer, the little clicker one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I hope that everybody is staying safe and healthy in this quarantine, because things are getting out of hand, and it's just so crazy how like this virus comes and like changes our lives like out of nowhere. So I've been praying that everyone is doing okay and staying safe, and if you have anybody being affected, that there's resources out there to help, and you know, just be okay. Okay, so if you're the type of person that wants to start doing a full face of makeup, what I use is like such a basic routine that I feel like this could help you. And like I said, like most of the things I have are like drugstore price. ColourPop is not considered drugstore because obviously you can't buy it like at Walmart or Target or stuff like that. However, I do feel like it is priced as a drugstore product, so you can order that on the ColourPop website, and I believe that now they started selling it at Ulta. So girl, it's even more closer to you than you think. So for eyes, if you're someone that wants to start doing your makeup, I think that this palette in particular is such a great beginner palette because one, it's so easy to work with, and then it has like a variety of colors. And this is the BH Cosmetics Sylvia Ghani palette, and it's like this kind of like snaky feel, and once you open it, it's like such a pretty palette. It's like you have your nudes, you have your colors, you have, for a palette to have black, it's so rare to find that. And like once I saw that I was like, I need this palette. And what I like about this one, if you're someone that likes highlight, like the highlight, this palette comes with two highlighters. This one looks white, but it's not really white. Let me see. It's like more of a champagne goldy one, and this one is like more gold, rose gold color. So sometimes I even use those highlight shades as like my shimmers, and like this palette is just bomb. The quality is like so good. I think you see the the trend of me using BH Cosmetics a lot, and like I said before, I love their quality. It's like such a beginner friendly brand, and like you get a lot of good stuff, and like they usually always have a lot of sales, and like Sylvia Ghani has a discount code with them. I think it's Sylvia Ghani, something like that, and you get like 10 or 20% off. So you never really get this brand full price, and it's like such a good quality. So I also have like their brushes. I have lots of their palettes, and I just love it so much. So I'm gonna start with the transition shade, and I haven't even planned out what I want, so we're gonna go with this process along with me. I want to do like a basic eye look, so just I can focus on like a full face instead of like a more like eyeshadow tutorial like I did last time. So I'm gonna start, let's do this one. This one is like a ginger color. The actual name is Ginger. Let me pull it up for you. So this shade right here is Ginger. It's like an orangey color, orangey brownish color. And you know me, I love orange, I like browns as transition shades. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my right. And as you saw in the other video, I always start in the transition area, which is the area between your eyelid and your brow bone, because that's where I want to focus the color on. And once you're done with like having most of the pigment on your skin, that's when I start to bring it into the inner corner to have like a more diffused color scheme, because we focus like more shimmer in the inner corner, but it's still like having like a gradient or like a more diffused look. I like it, but you know me, I like a little more color, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more. Oh, and I'm using again the same Wet n Wild brush that I used in the other video. And everything that I'm using, I'm gonna have it in the description box in case you're interested in like looking at the prices or where you can find it. I actually bought this one at Walmart, but I couldn't find like a single brush that was being sold at Walmart. It was like they were selling it in a set, but I found it in the Target website and I put it in the description box at the other video. Okay, so I think that looks good. So I'm gonna do the same to the other side. Before, I used to complete one whole eye and then move on to the next one, and like I'm such a forgetful person that I would forget what I did and in what order. So I started doing what I do to one eye, I do it to the other like right after, just so I stay in the same order and like not forget a step, because there was one time I was like, my eyes just don't look the same, and then later on I remembered, I was like, oh, I forgot a step, whoops. Something about me and my memory, it's so off. Okay, so you can see it's looking pretty good. And now we're gonna move on to, I lost my brush, right there, into the darker color in the outer corner. And I'm gonna be using this like brown, like lighter brown color. This one right here is called October, along with this darker brown right here, just so that the color is not like too dark or too light for this look. So I'm going to be mixing both of those and tap off the excess. And like I said in the other video, it's really up to you and your type of eye where like the darker colors look best. And it has to have a lot of practice for you to find where it's best for you, because we all have different eyes. Our eyes are different sizes, and like what works for me may not work for you. And like it took me so long to realize that, because I would always like watch so many like eyeshadow tutorial videos, and like my eyes wouldn't look the same as theirs, and I was just like, what's wrong with me? I truly suck. And it just wasn't that. It was like when I started playing around with makeup on my own, where I was like, oh my gosh, like it's just the shape of my eye that's like completely different than everybody else's. So oh, another tip that I wanted to share is whenever you're applying your transition shade, you don't want to make like the color so bold, because obviously whenever you add a darker shade like we just did right now, you're always going to have to blend those out, so you're going to lose a little bit of that transition shade color. So you always have to go back and like pack a little bit more of that transition shade and then keep blending a little bit more. So you don't want to like the first time you put that transition color, you don't want to like do it like to where I was like, oh okay, I would love that color, because in the end you're gonna have to go back and add a little bit more, and then you might not like how dark or how packed it looks. So just keep that in mind. And I'm not gonna make this too harsh either, because I want to kind of more of a natural looking eye look. So I think that looks good. And like I said, like you kind of see that you lose a little bit of that transition shade. So I'm going to go back into the transition color, which is called Ginger, that orangey brownish shade. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more and start blending that dark shade with the transition shade. And whenever you want to blend, you always want to do circular motions, because that's how the colors blend the best. And this is like whenever you apply the transition shade, that's more of a windshield wiper motions, because obviously you can't like do circles all around, and that's gonna be a little bit hard for you. So like I said, whenever I have less color on my brush, that's when I bring it into the inner corner to create that gradient. And I'm gonna add a little bit more color. And as you can see, I feel like you can tell that you lose a little bit of that darker color. So if you want to have like a more defined dark color, you have to go back and add more. And like it just depends. Like this blending thing is like so time consuming, because if you want such a bold color, it's gonna take time to blend and pack over and over again until you're like confident with the colors you're left with. Because blending is always the key to an eyeshadow. If you don't blend well, it kind of looks scrappy. Not to offend anyone or anything, but that's just how makeup is. I call these my cuernitos, because it's like my curls, my small curls, my little curls that are not like full curls, and they just stick out like that. And sometimes I'm like, ¿quién me está poniendo los cuernos? In reality, it's just my hair. Okay. And what I also like to do is I like to bring the transition shade into the outer corner right here, because I like I don't really like having like the shimmer on my entire lid. I just like it from like this beginning part until like either the middle or like 3/4 down. So I add like the transition shade more a little bit here, just so that part isn't like without color or anything like that. Whereas over here, like you still see a lot of white right here. And then over here is like more, I don't know why I just like having the transition shade over here more than just having the entire lid with shimmer. So now I'm going to do the same to the other eye. And this part also helps you blend that darker part if you brought it like a little bit lower than your transition area. I want to try a video where I try the halo eye effect. Like I've never tried that, so I'm just like, I'm so scared to try because I don't know if it's gonna work for my eye, since my eye is like more, I don't know, people always think I'm either Indian or from Europe. Even whenever, oh my gosh, even whenever I went to go buy that, oh my gosh, I forgot what it's called. Like, you know, for prom, whenever the guy gets the corsage for the girl, and like the girl gets the little flower that goes on their suit right there. Dang, I forgot what that was called. So I went to go buy that for Nanya because he asked me to prom and we were gonna go to prom together. And the lady that was selling that thing, whenever I went to go pick it up, she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're from India." And like one of my close friends went with me, and like she just burst out laughing, and I just look at her like, "You're so mean." I'm like, "No, I'm not from India." She was like, "If you're not from India, then that means you have to be from Guadalajara." And I was like, I freaked out because even my friend and I, we were like, "What the heck? How does she know that?" And then it's like known for people from Guadalajara to have like these type of eyes, like and like I was like, "Yeah, I'm actually from there." And yeah, people always ask me, "Are you from Europe? Are you from," even sometimes Argentina, because of like my big nose. But like for my eyes, they're always like, "You have to be from Guadalajara, or you have to be Indian." And I'm like, "Well, I'm certainly not Indian." Just a little quick story, funny story there. I really like how this is looking. As you can see, I'm gonna bring a little bit more color into this area right here. Alright, and now the hardest part for me is always choosing what shimmer I want to use. So based on this palette, like whenever I have more of this type of neutral look, I like putting like a gold or pink or more of a like lighter shimmer, so that the outer corner is like the pop, like the dark pop. And that's always the hardest thing for me because I never know what color I want to use. Okay. I really want to go with the Libra shade, which is the top, like, more golden highlighter shade right here. This one. So I'm going to go with that. And I actually forgot to take out my little spongy thingy, which is somewhere here. Where are you? Oh, found it. Right there. Oh, these cuernos drive me nuts. And it's like, no matter how much I mousse or how much freaking gel I put, they're rebels. They are true rebels. They do whatever they want. They don't listen to me. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of that shade in the inner corner, in the lid. I don't know if you can tell, but this is like a really gold. Let me see if I can focus. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add it. This is such a pretty shade. See, it's like more of a gold color. Sorry, that was my laptop. And sometimes it's okay to drag that shimmer all the way to the outer corner over here, because I like to go back and blend with that transition shade again, just so like there's no harsh lines or anything like that. So do you see the difference? Okay, so I'm going to do this into the other eye. Oh, I just poked my eye. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go back with the brush that I used for the transition shade and dip into the transition shade again. And I'm going to try to blend that shimmer and that transition shade together. And since I saw that I lost the transition shade right here in the inner corner, I'm going to go back and add a little bit more. I'm gonna do this into the other eye. Okay, so I like how that turned out. See, this is more like of a gold shade and it just works perfectly with this. Okay, so the last step for the eyes. Well, if I do eyeliner, I would put eyeliner next, but since I want it more of a like more neutral shade, more neutral eye look, I'm just gonna go straight to mascara. And I'm gonna use the same palette for the mirror. Oh, and I'm gonna be using the same mascara I used last time, the Believe Beauty Volume Voluminize mascara, the purple one. And this mascara is from Dollar General, and it's only $5, guys. Like, I'm not the type of person that likes like the clumpy eyelashes. I like more like natural looking ones. So this one does not leave your eyelashes clumpy whatsoever, but it is more of a like, oh no, it's more of a, because you get to more natural one. The YouTuber from that I got this mascara from, she's like obsessed with a Thrive Cosmetics mascara, and I was so curious about it, but I'm not gonna spend that much on no mascara. So it turns out that I'm subscribed to Ipsy and BoxyCharm, and both of those are like a makeup subscription box that you get monthly. For the Ipsy, I think you just pay $10 a month and you get 5 travel size or like sample size products every month. And I love Ipsy because if you don't like something, obviously you're not wasting it because it's just like a sample size, whereas BoxyCharm is like full size, and like obviously BoxyCharm is like more, I think it was like $20 a month. And what I like to do is like, whenever I'm gonna make a subscription like that, I always pay the full price up front because they usually discount a little bit off from that instead of paying like the 20 or the 10 every month. But obviously sometimes we're having to do payments like every month, so if you can't pay the full price up front, you can always do the every month payments, and that works just fine. But I hate doing payments, so I always do everything up front. And like, I always notice that whenever you pay up front, it's like they give you like a good discount from like the full price. And this month, well, actually it was for the month of March, it turns out that I got that mascara on Ipsy, the Thrive Cosmetics one, and I tried it the other day, and oh my gosh, I see why she loves it. It's kind of like this one, but it's like a little more liquidy, but that one holds your eyelashes, and it's like, I don't know what it was, but like that one was a lot darker. Like this is black, I don't know, like something stood out on the eyelashes, and like it was so pretty, and I was like, oh my gosh, like now that I have the travel size, I really want to get the full size. But I'm trying to control myself and not buy as much makeup, and I want to use what I have right now. I think that looks good. Plus I'm not going anywhere, so I'm just getting ready for you guys. Sometimes I leave the lower lash line last, so whenever I'm done with the second eye, I use what's left on the brush to do the bottom lashes because I don't like them too intense either. And I always mess up. I don't know if it's because my eyelashes are long, or I honestly don't have that much control in my hands. Like even in art, I can't do art just because I don't know. 1, I'm not creative enough. 2, I don't have like that penmanship, and like my handwriting was always bad. Some people would tell me like to be a doctor because like that's how bad my handwriting was, but I've improved, so I'm happy about that. And like I always get mascara at the top, like right here, like I messed up. But a good thing is that I learned this trick from Nicole Consiglio. She's another YouTuber. I love her. Whenever you do get that mascara on your eyeshadow, let it dry first, because as soon as I would get it on there, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to take it off, and like take it off, and it would create a whole mess. But she showed us that trick in one of her videos to wait until the mascara is like completely dry where you messed up, and then get like a small detail brush and like just try to like blend it and it's just gonna fall right off. So it's gonna fall right off, so you're not gonna have trouble taking it off. Oh, this curls are always in the way. Like I said, since I don't like my bottom eyelashes that bold, I just go with what's left on the brush and just like that. Like I don't really focus too much on it. Okay. And also what's left on the brush, I just brush my eyebrows because I don't even try to control them because they're also curly and they just love to do whatever they want to do, so I'm not even gonna fight them. Alright, so I'm gonna go with a more detailed brush to try to get rid of that that mascara that was on there. So this is like a really small brush. And then I just like try to rub it up. And it comes right up. Sometimes you can even add whatever that color that is. And like add to that. So that way you don't lose color while you're taking it off. And just like that. So I hope you guys are liking that eye look that I created right now. And this is like a simple eye look. It's not too detailed or too hard. Okay, so once I'm done with my eyes, and I'm sorry this is going to be such a long video, but once I'm done with my eyes, that's when I go with my base. So another holy grail item that I found is part of that hyaluronic acid collection, and this is a ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. I can't even explain how amazing this is. And like with the combination of the primer, this, which is the tinted moisturizer, and the setting spray, it's like my skin is like in heaven. I don't have, it doesn't get oily whatsoever. It's just amazing. And I thought that using those three products at once was gonna make my face like oily because, you know, too much hydration. I was already thinking that's gonna be a whole mess. And then I started using it and it was like the perfect thing for my skin, and I've just been loving it. I'm almost running out of it. It looks like it's full, but it's really not. So I'm gonna be using the Jeffree Star, the Morphe X Jeffree Star JS1, which is like the foundation brush. And I just add a little bit on here, like that. And then I just start applying on my face. I try to tap it like that. And then, obviously since it's such a big brush, you can't get into like this area right here. But I always do, I got this trick from Ali Glines, the YouTuber that, where I got the mascara from. She applies her foundation with a brush, but obviously brushes leave brush strokes, so she goes back with her beauty blender and like just blends everything. So that's what I started doing, and I noticed that looked a lot better, because I hated how like the not beauty blender, the beauty sponge soaks up most of the product, and it was just annoying me so much. And like the good thing about brushes is that since it has like thin bristles, once you start tapping in like that, it really gets into the pores, and I feel like since it gets into the pores, it like, how do I say, like, you have more of a, you drag it down to the neck too, a better look because since it goes like more into the pores, I feel like you have more of a better surface than the beauty blender or the beauty sponge. Unless it's just gonna be my forehead. And if you have trouble with blemishes, you can always add like concealer on top of your blemishes, just so, because this type of whenever it's a tinted moisturizer, obviously it's not gonna have as well as coverage compared to like a foundation. But this is what I like. I don't like full coverage. I don't like looking cakey. I don't know, it's just not for me. I know a lot of people like that cakey look and it looks great on them, but for me, I just don't. And like I said, I'm going to be using a little bit of concealer. I don't want to use this one because it's so unsanitary with that little thing right there. It can't hold the bacteria, and it's whenever you try to put it on again, you can spread that bacteria onto another part of your face and you get more blemishes, in case you didn't know that. So what I do is I get my another concealer, which is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer, and I love this one as well. I add a little bit on the back of my hand. Don't put too much, but like I add a little bit on the back of my hand. And then I get my finger, and I just because if you try to do it with your sponge, it's gonna be the same as like putting it with that Maybelline concealer, with that because you're obviously spreading that that bacteria into another part of your face. Science world. Okay, so now that the face is done, since this is, I don't know if you can tell, but this is more of a dewy look, and now I'm not a dewy look person. I always set my face, and I used to use I think it was the CoverGirl setting powder or face powder, something like that. But then on BoxyCharm, I got the Ciate Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder, which is this. I can see this one. And like I noticed that the CoverGirl was a little more dense, and whereas this one is more like more finely milled, and obviously like a more finely milled powder is gonna go into your face a little bit better. So I always tap a little bit on the lid, not too much, because then I use this brightening brush from Alamar. And I also got this on BoxyCharm, and it was like, oh my god, BoxyCharm was like a dream to me. And whenever I'm not too worried of like doing such a glam look, I don't even worry about covering my under eyes, because to me it's like, why are you covering? Like, it doesn't, I don't know. I don't have a problem with people knowing that I'm tired, because obviously I work hard, and I feel like going into this quarantine, it's what I needed, because I was seriously killing myself. Literally I would wake up 5:30 or 6 in the morning, get ready, and then obviously make breakfast, and then I would have to drive to either the Woodlands or Conroe to my school, because I'm currently in student teaching. And then right after student teaching, I would have to go to work and like get off at like 10:30 or 11:30, and like that was every day except obviously Saturday. But Saturday I would work, and then Sunday I would go to church really early, and then go visit my parents or like hang out with Emmanuel's family. And like I would be so dead because I just didn't have a break. I didn't get enough sleep. I didn't and obviously apart from that, I had to do my homework. I was honestly dying, but That's what this quarantine felt like happened to me. Okay, so now that the face is powdered, you can tell that it's not as dewy anymore, but I do look like a ghost. So this is where I go in with a bronzer. Funny part about that is that, where's my bronzer? Oh yeah. So as you guys, I told you that I have Ipsy, and like I have this stash right here, which is like products that I haven't used. And like it's like this little cubby with the little things that I've gotten on what you call it, on Ipsy. So I'm gonna be trying one of those. Ooh, this looks pretty. So this is China B Miami, and this is the blush. This is actually a blush, but I usually do whenever it's like a darker color, more brownish blush, I use it as bronzer. In the shade Bellini. So I'm gonna and always for bronzer I always like using fluffy brushes, and this brush is from the Beauty Crop, and it's F203 powder brush, and like I just dip into that. I used to do with a more thin brush, like this one right here. Maybe you can tell that it's not as thick as this one. So I would always have like just like a stroke right there, and I started not to like that whenever I started like testing like the big brushes out. Because I feel like this is like such like an airbrush look instead of like having just a stroke on your face like that. And you can't really tell on camera, but oh my gosh, I love this color. It looks so well on my skin. I know you can tell. And then some people do this right here. I also like to add a little bit on my forehead. I don't know why, I just like having a lot. Not a lot, but like to the point where you can see the definition on my cheeks and cheekbones. Just like that. Well, this is kind of nothing compared to others, but this is the way, like. Sometimes I also like to put blush apart from that bronzer, but whenever it's like more of a natural look, I don't really worry about blush, especially whenever it's like more of these colors. I feel like a blush kind of throws it off. Also whenever I just do like a simple look, I try to not wear a lipstick because, like I said, I have a lot of trouble staying hydrated, so my lips are usually always dry. And I don't know, maybe because of that, but like I just don't like dry things or like matte stuff. Even though I love like lipsticks a lot, I tend to not use them as much, and if I do, I always use like a matte lipstick with, I have to have a gloss on. Like I'm more of a glossy girl instead of just matte. So I usually wear like just a ColourPop gloss, or like even e.l.f. has like a clear gloss, and I put that on top of like my lipsticks or lip liners, whatever. And then one time I went shopping to Victoria's Secret. I forgot with who, but they were having a sale, and then I was like, oh, it was with my sister, I remember. And I saw some glosses, and I was like, oh, let me try them. And I used to talk so much trash about Victoria's Secret because I was like, it's so overpriced, like this and that. And then one of a special person, she gifted me some like pajama pants, and I loved it so much that I started buying from there, like pink and Victoria's Secret, but I only buy whenever there's a sale. Like I never buy things full price. And then I ended up trying one of their lip glosses and I freaking loved it. They have like different flavors, they have different colors. And then I ran into this one, which is the Victoria's Secret Total Shine Addict, and it's a flavored lip gloss. This right here. And it's like a vanilla, yeah, I think it is vanilla. It's like a vanilla flavor, but it has like shine. It has like little, it's not even a lot of shine, but it's so pretty. It's pinky and like really glossy. And what I like about this, it feels like buttery instead of like the typical sticky I don't know, there's some glosses that I don't like because they're like so sticky, and this one is like butter. It really hydrates your lips and it's like so pretty. But I usually put this like on top of a lipstick, but I'm not gonna wear a lipstick. That's not much of a like tutorial. And then also whenever I don't want to do like anything shiny or like that has like glitter, I use the Victoria's Secret Peach Nectar flavored lip gloss, which is this one. Oh, I just love peach so much, and this was like perfect for me. And then now that we're done with the full face of makeup, it's time for setting spray. And like I said, I used a Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist, which is this one. Oh my gosh, and like the freaking spray on this one, like this is what it's most known for, like the spray. I don't know if you can tell, like, oh, and it smells so good too, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it and put it on. And I don't put as much as like other people, but I like it. Oh, so good. It smells so good, and it feels so fresh. Oh yes. And since it still stays a little bit dirty, obviously it's a spray. I'll just go back and just tap in with just a big fluffy brush. And there you have it. So this is the completed full face look. Oh, it's just so fresh. I love it. And it smells nice. Okay, so we did the eyes, we did the mascara, we did bronzer. If you want to add blush, you can go ahead and add your blush. I don't use highlight, but for the sake of this video, let's go ahead and throw on some freaking. I'm gonna be using the Old Paul one, which is the other one that I didn't use. This one right here. Where? One day I tried it and I definitely loved it. You see that? Wow. I'm gonna add some to the other side. Wow, it's so pretty. Okay, so this is a completed look now with highlighter. Okay, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Oh, I forgot I had it the other side. If you want to see like a full glam face, I'm so willing to do that with eyeliner, with lipstick, with all that jazz. I'm so willing to do that, and I just want to, you know, do videos that you guys are interested in instead of just me throwing content out there that you guys might not be interested in. This gloss is just so beautiful. So I hope everyone, you and your family, are staying safe and healthy in this hard time. If you, like I said in the other video, if you want to share petitions to pray or anything like that, please let me know. So anything else you guys want to know, or any ideas for content that you want me to film, I'm all ears for you guys. And thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for watching. And leave a comment if you want. That way I can keep up with whatever you guys like, or what I could improve on, what you really liked, stuff like that, just so I can have a little bit of feedback from you guys. So, you guys have a wonderful rest of the day or night if I post this at night. I love you guys so much and thank you so much for coming back. Bye!